Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Italian, and welcome back to Willy Morgan and the Curse of Bone Town. This is Act 6 when we last left off. We got into the library, it's morning, finally. And now we gotta check out the properties of concrete, which is right here. Unfortunately, it's being used as the table leg. A table that is filled to the brim with books. Lovely.
It's the famous book, Properties of Concrete, the last book read by my father. It's stuck under the huge number of books on the desk. I must find a way to free it. On this desk, there are books of every kind, from how to build a cuckoo clock to anchovy fishing for newbies. How? Should I remove everything on top of it? There's no time. And above all, I wouldn't know where to put all these books.
The first one, you have no idea how much time you have to work with right now. But the second one is a perfectly good argument. So let's talk to you again.
What's that old crate upstairs?
It belonged to Charles Teach, a great-great-grandfather of mine. Many years ago, we opened it with the help of a locksmith, but it was empty. Then the key got lost again, and nobody has any interest in it anymore. Maybe the locksmith has a copy of it somewhere. I never feel like throwing it away. It's still a family heirloom after all.
I need to consult one of your tomes.
It's always a pleasure when What are you looking?
Properties of Concrete.
Oh, what a surprise! I guess this is the...
Doesn't it get the attention?
Here in Bones, I could never...
Where can I find...
I guess it's some...
Thank you. I need to
It's all... What are you looking...
Grog and Other Delights.
It hasn't been available since 1998, when grog was declared a substance harmful to health, and the book was never reprinted again.
Grog, are you kidding?
It was a short-lived law, abolished immediately afterward to avoid a mass uprising.
Luckily...
Don't get me started. A cup of grog in the morning is like a panacea. But in case it happens again in the future, I've put aside a personal supply.
Not Very Famous Pirate Songs by Threepwood.
Unfortunately, that's one of the most requested books. There's even a waiting list to consult it.
Properties of...
Oh, what? I guess this...
Doesn't it get...
Here in... I could never...
Where can I...
I guess...
Thank you. Thanks, and goodbye.
Thank you for visiting the Bone Town Library. If you need a specific...
Thanks.
Okay. So we need to find something. Oh, I just remembered something. One moment. Speech volume, I find, is just a little too loud. So let's just set that like that. Moving forward. Okay. Oh, a museum?
It wouldn't be nice if I took the only street sign for the local museum. I have a strong feeling that if I did it, I'd put the entire town economy in danger. And Bone Town doesn't seem like it's experiencing its golden age. It says to follow the arrow to access the museum. I didn't know that Bone Town had a museum too, especially a museum in this obscure alley.
That's actually a really bad sign.
It looks like it was installed recently. One-Eyed Jack Restaurant. The name is catchy, the sign much less so. I don't know what's worse, the chicken wings used as bones at the sides of the skull, or the general state of the sign. Everything here is going to the dogs. I wonder what happened to the city. It wasn't always like this.
I'm gonna point out that I think it's actually a cool idea that they use the drumsticks for the crossbones. But I agree, the fact it's such an important disrepair, and the letters are right down over here, for the record.
They're barrels filled with water. I don't think that dragging this barrel of over 100 liters would benefit me a lot. If I had to guess, there are more than 100 chicken dishes. I may be wrong, but I think the owner specializes in cooking chicken every possible way.
You know, I just had that impression when I was those not very famous pirate songs by Threepwood. And I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but in the Monkey Island series, wasn't Guybrush's last name Threepwood? Guybrush Threepwood? I'm pretty sure now when I think about it, that's what his name. And there was a character in that game series that was obsessed with chicken.
Menu of the day. Chicken, or chicken and salad, or chicken, salad, and cheese. While for drinks, there's only grog. I don't think there are any books here. Even if it's battered, I think I can make out the word restaurant. It's not time to enter there yet. I need to use the clue left by my dad first.
Honestly, I was just curious to see if it was that guy.
It's the sign for a museum. I don't know what interesting stuff there is to see. It's not specified on the sign. I can't see the opening time either. Dark alley, ambiguous sign, no opening time for the public, and an old open door. I like it.
Yeah, that's very suspicious.
It's one of the most modern objects I've seen in Bonetown so far.
The fact that it's right next to what I'm assuming is a trap museum does not inspire me with confidence.
I don't know how, but I hope it might come in handy.
We can use that to prop up the table.
It seems like the propeller of an old vessel. There's also some writing. Flying Dutchman. I don't think it's that Flying Dutchman. At first glance, it appears to weigh over 100 kilos. Surely working out in the gym made me stronger, but I don't think it performed any miracles.
Yeah, we're not gonna go there yet, because now we have something to prop up the table, which is what we wanted.
Let's try. It worked! Check out what we have here. Let's see what it is. It's another letter from my father. It's dated July 22nd, 2008, earlier than the other one. There's also a piece of paper that seems more ancient, but I can't figure out what it is. Better take a look right now. If Dad did all this so that I'd find it, there must be something important.
I hope it's you, Willy, who's reading this letter, otherwise all my efforts will have been in vain. My latest research confirmed that Captain Kidd and his crew found a huge treasure. I don't know where they hid it, but they drew a map, which was divided between the members of the crew. Before his execution, Kidd had hid his piece of the map in the cell. I managed to find it still intact. This means that the map was never put back together and that the treasure still lays somewhere forgotten. You will find the piece of the map together with this letter. It is, of course, unusable without the other pieces. From my research, it seems that the rest of the crew took refuge in Bonetown, awaiting the return of their captain. After years spent looking in every book at the time, I finally discovered the list of the crew. Edward Drake, Chris Everge, Charles Teach, Rock Lafayette, John Roger, Walter Fly, Tom Rayleigh, Eddie Bellamy. Find the missing pieces and reach the treasure before someone else does. I can't see anything else. Time is short. I feel I'm being tracked. I don't know if we'll ever meet again. Love your dad, Henry.
Now I understand what the piece of paper was that I found with the letter. Dad always performed great feats, but I never imagined he was looking for Kidd's treasure. It has always been said that it was basically a legend. I don't remember the complete story exactly, but maybe the librarian can help me. And I have a list of names. Better start asking information of the townsfolk, without attracting too much attention. I don't need my father's old library card anymore. Even if someone found it, it would be useless. I have the letter and the piece of map belonging to my dad. Do you by any chance know the story of Captain William Kidd?
Sure, it is mostly a legend. In the golden era of piracy, Kidd stood out for his endeavors, if you could call them that.
The endeavors of a pirate aren't exactly heroic most of the time.
Anyway, his ship, the Adventure Galley, was supposedly filled with treasures when it suddenly disappeared. A few years later, in 1701, Kidd was captured and executed, but his ship and the crew were never found.
What do you think happened?
What always happened at that time? Kidd and his crew squandered all the loot, and to cover their tracks, they sold or even burned the ship. After this story, Kidd became legendary.
Thank you. Thanks, and goodbye.
Thank you for visiting the Bonetown Library. If you need a specific book, you can ask me, Miss Teach, or just Margaret.
Thanks, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, I assume that she knows nothing about her ancestry. But she already gave us the important information. The crate upstairs, I bet you anything, has the map piece. But we need the key. Hello, person.
Very strange. I have the feeling I'm being watched. Better be careful. You never know what can happen in Bonetown.
Yeah, I think it was the proprietor of the inn as well that did it. Okay. That just goes to the opening of the town. There's the museum, but I feel like that place is a trap.
I think this is the town hall, and this is the entrance door.
Right, we were recommended to go here. Ooh.
The upper floor seems to be condemned. What a weird globe. It's covered in notes. These are stamps of Bonetown. There's a lot of disorder up there. I think he's Steve Bonnet. He has aged fast.
Oh, that's mean to say. Also, I gotta say, it's actually a bonus that, unlike most mayors whose towns are living in squander, he's also living in squander. This is practically a condemned building. Actually, half of it is condemned, so there you go.
Good morning, Steve.
Good morning. I'm sorry, do we know each other?
It's been a while, hasn't it, Uncle Steve?
Uncle Steve? There's only one child that called me that. It can't be. Willy. Is that really you?
Yes, Steve, it's really me, Willy Morgan.
Son, how are you? Sorry if I don't get up, but my back is killing me. Sitting here all day is bad for my health.
All good, Steve. Thank you.
Tell me, what brought you back to Bonetown? It's been years since the last time I saw you.
For the anniversary of my dad's disappearance. It's been 10 years. I was thinking of swinging by the cemetery.
Already 10 years? Time seems to have stopped in Bonetown since then. I sought refuge in my job to forget. I don't see your mother. Does she know you're here?
I told her I was leaving. She's away on a business trip.
How is she? I tried many times to contact you in recent years, but she never answered.
It was very tough for her, too. She preferred to make a clean break from the past, concentrating on me and her job. Bonetown is a memory that still hurts a lot.
I understand.
How are things going here in Bonetown?
Not very well, I'd say. It's becoming harder and harder to run Bonetown. People leave, and the problems are constantly increasing.
I saw some construction work on the buildings.
That's one of the bigger problems in the city. It seems that our water resources are drying up. Some people say that upriver, certain companies have been doing excavations that caused the fracturing of some faults. But I launched an investigation. There's no correlation. So I'm trying to solve the problem by recovering rainwater. And at the moment, it seems to be working.
I hope so, for Bonetown. Do you remember what happened to my father?
It's always painful for me to talk about Henry. We grew up almost like brothers, before he decided to leave and become one of the most famous archaeologists in the world. Despite his work, he always found the time to come back here to the family, and to meet his old friends. Unfortunately, his disappearance is still shrouded in mystery. The night before that fateful day, we went out together. We said goodbye in front of the old inn, where he was staying. The next morning, I stopped by to say hello, but there was no trace of him. His room was intact, The innkeeper said he didn't see him going out. That's all I know. Since then, I've been racking my brain to understand what happened, but Henry seems to have vanished into thin air.
Just like Mom always tells me. Do you, by any chance, know what Dad was working on?
I wouldn't know. Whenever he'd come to Bonetown, he told us fantastic stories of the places he explored. We felt like we were there with him.
Dad was always an exceptional narrator. When he told me a story before bed, I couldn't sleep right away, but instead spent a good part of the night fantasizing.
He used to do the same thing with us here in Bonetown. Everyone was enthralled by him.
How are things going here?
The bigger problem, I'm investing.
You really?
I was born.
Oh, I thought I would be able to ask again about something else. Okay.
See you later.
Come back whenever you want. You'll always find me here.
Thanks.
Okay.
It's full of every kind of bottle and vial. I don't even know if some are legal or not.
Probably not. Even by that day
There
standard.
are even some love potions and other remedies not known to science. It contains a lot of jelly beans. The sign says, "Welcome to the fabulous Bonetown New Pub." It's by far the most modern thing I've ever seen here in Bonetown.
Must have been a new thing here, which means the older guys who work here probably don't like him, whoever owns that place at all. But finding that out is gonna wait till next time, because this is Curtain Call. If you enjoyed the show, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you might know if I want to upload a video. Until then, that's it for me. Bye bye.